Okay, so I just want to forewarn, because we'll get to Scream, but I just want to do a deep dive into the Halloween history, and then we're gonna, don't worry, get back to Scream, but this is relevant. So many years ago, and again, I want to be super accurate and careful here. So Kevin did actual work on H2O. He is not credited as an official writer with the other writers. However, he did work on it. He did rewrites. So bear this in mind because this is going to be very relevant when we get to Scream 7. So an early version of H2O, which they never did, but this is a real script. It is a real script. This is before Jamie Lee Curtis they knew that she was going to sign back in, was in the essentials, and I'm not spoiling H2O, but we have to at least spoil, some little elements of the plot. But the essentials are, there's a kind of a private school with girls, of course, and basically Michael seems to be terrorizing this school. Now here comes the twist, where the Scream element you should see pretty well. Turns out they'll reveal at the very end, when the killer is killed, or Michael is killed, it wasn't real Michael, it was a copycat serial killer. Ta-da, ta-da. But then Jamie signed on to do H2O, so they started reworking the script from that original idea and that original script and kept changing it to what we see with H2O. Now, when Kevin stepped in, I don't know exactly, but clearly, this is just normal in Hollywood, you're given access to other scripts, right? As a writer, because he was rewriting various elements. So no doubt, just out of curiosity, probably asked him, well, where did you start off with? And said, oh, we had this idea, do the copycat. Oh, that's interesting. And I'll do more on Halloween and Buffy and other things, but stick around for those. But anyway, that's the broad strokes. So that's real. Kevin did do work. This has been universally acknowledged. It's just not official because of Hollywood rules and regulations, but he definitely worked on H2O. So I have no doubt he knows about this idea. And to be fair, this is not stealing, but it is borrowing heavily. So here's my idea for Scream 7, and it does fit now, the trailers and the various leaks. Hopefully people put it together. It's pretty obvious now. So like H2O, we're going to be fooled for most of the film, where we think it's Stu. We think Stu is the serial killer. We think Stu is Ghostface, and Ghostface is Stu. And Sydney will be convinced. Now, how they're going to do that with AI, fake tech, deep fake, who knows? Don't care. But for a lot of the film, Sydney will be fooled that Stu could be coming back. And there you go. So, but like H2O, at least the early H2O, which again, remember, this is a real script. This is not even conceptual or speculation. This is real. Zappia, who is credited as the official writer in all these different versions, did create this script, but they changed it. So this is a real. This is not like, internet speculation. This is a real script. So from that real script, they're following broadly the same trick. So we're going to be fooled for most of the film that we think it's Stu. We think it's Stu returning as the Ghostface. But ta-da, once again, at the end, when the killer is killed or destroyed or whatever, unmasked, then I'll be like, oh, it's not Stu. Obviously, the dilemma here is how could Sydney and the audience be fooled into thinking this is Stu? Well, yes, obviously now with AI, right? But even back then, you could have fooled people with using old photos, right? Do enough to convince us it's the killer. And if you are a real hardcore horror fan, I just thought about this. This is actually a similar trick they pulled with the Friday the 13th series, right? Where we have a fake Jason Voorhees in one entry in the Jason Voorhees series. So this trick has been pulled before, where we think it's, quote, the real original killer, but it's not. It's revealed at the end it's a fake killer. The dilemma is you got to go through a lot, right? Maybe this version of Stu will look like Stu. That's my theory. Or they'll put on a mask, right? Showing they've been badly injured to make Sydney think this is Stu. So you got to do a lot of work here. So how do they explain that? Well, this really does not line up at all with Scream 6. And as far as we know, that's canonical. So they're going to have to decanonize that or really radically retcon it, because there we're led to believe Sydney's in hiding. So I could believe the killer is for decades obsessed with Sydney. Okay, fine. Right. They've shown the mental hospital, so that's plausible. Somebody's just fixated on Sydney because she is a celebrity in that universe. She's well known enough. So somebody's fixated on her and her family and has this kind of cult-like devotions to Stu, finish the Stu work. Okay, I could believe that. But if she's in hiding, how does she get put in danger? Again, with H2O, without spoiling it, that would make sense because Michael Myers is a methodical killer, right? So even if the Jamie Lee Curtis character is hiding in that film too, it doesn't matter. It's Michael Myers. He's going to find you, right? That's who Michael is. He's an extraordinary human being. He's not supernatural, but if he's going to try to come to kill you, he's going to find a way. That's just how that works. So unless they're going to pull another Michael Myers, it's like, wow, this extraordinary deranged guy just seems to have Michael Myers powers and just be an extraordinary human being, which is kind of lame. Or there's just a lot of happy accidents. Now, I've done another video where somehow, in some weird way, Gale is a catalyst. So this guy is fixated on Sydney for year after year after year after year, but doesn't quite know where she is, what she's up to. But Gale accidentally leaks or reveals her identity, reveals where she's hiding, and then the Ghostface killer is like, okay, great, now I know where she is. Then he goes there to terrorize. So I think this film is going to be very polarizing either way. One is a lot of fans are going to be disappointed, like, really? Fake Stu? Yeah, okay, fake Stu. But again, I'm talking about the main plot. It could be at the very end, real Stu will come out, but I think that's maybe a trick they're going to save for the very, very end. That's what I'm guessing. But for most of the plot, really, Sydney's contending with fake Stu. Maybe real Stu is helping the fake Stu, but for most of the plot, it's fake Stu we're dealing with. So make of that what you will. Also, Gale helping Ghostface in a weird way. Some fans are going to like that idea. Others are going to be like, that doesn't add up. Gale should be cautious enough by now. She should know, oh, if I do this, that might put Sydney in danger. And the twins apparently are working with Gale, so that would be just catastrophically stupid or crazy that they did that. But again, that's one theory. Another theory is they're actually intentionally helping the Ghostface. As villains? Don't know, but Gale and the twins and the Ghostface have this weird symbiotic relationship going back and forth, right? It's supposed to be some kind of commentary in the media and cancel culture. Make of that what you will. So the basic gist here is Stu is not coming back. It's going to be a copycat. And this copycat idea seems pretty obviously borrowed from an early version of H2O, which Kevin worked on. But he worked on the finished version. So, but seeing the obvious lines and clues, he probably said, okay, I'm just going to take that older premise, which, to be fair, that there's nothing illegal or even unethical. Broadly, it is a different story. It's not even the same characters. So, okay. But more or less, yeah, he's borrowing the idea from H2O. And this has been done before with, right, Jason Voorhees. If you keep going back, yeah, the idea of the audience is fooled into thinking, was this the real killer, the fake killer? It's been done before. So make of that what you will. Well, audiences like this, I think, to put it mildly, some of the leaks are going to reveal it's fake Stu. So I think a lot of people are going to be like, really? But again, they never promised Stu, to be fair. They're hinting at Stu, but they never confirmed. So there you go. So get ready for fake Stu playing Michael Myers, and maybe real Stu is just laughing in the background. Will audiences love this? I doubt it. A lot of people, I think, are like, oh, he's Michael Myers now? Because good or bad, Ghostface was its own character, but now they're going to Michael Myers him, or her, for this version of Scream. There you go. They're going Michael Myers again.